Del Rio. From Del Rio, Texas, Rob Wade and Robert Garza. Two guys who dive. This episode of Two Guys Who Dive, recorded Saturday, 7 July 2012. Episode 23, Happy Birthday, America! And here we are with another podcast of Two Guys Who Dive. I'm your host, Rob Wade, and I'm here with...
Robert Garza.
All right, so...
The reclusive.
The reclusive, no kidding. Back from the wherever in the world you were for a while there.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. What can I say?
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
You remember what that's from?
No.
Oh, really? Super Chicken?
No, I never saw
You
it.
don't remember?
No, I don't remember.
Well, it was both a radio program and a cartoon. We used to hear the radio show all the time. Super Chicken.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
It's pretty wild. So, the title episode this week is, of course, Happy Birthday, America, because we just had the 4th of July celebrating the anniversary of the declaration of our independence from Great England at the time. And, of course, we had a number of actual battles that ultimately resulted in our independence. But that was what we officially recognize as saying, we're not going to take it anymore. So, what did you do for the 4th of July?
Actually, we were gearing up to go watch the fireworks, but then it started to rain, so we weren't sure if they were going to have them after all.
No kidding. It was like, where'd this come from?
So it was about 2 minutes to 10, and we decided, you know what, let's go to, I love McDonald's coffees. So we were...
Okay, so you like McDonald's, not to take you off track completely here, but so you like McDonald's coffees, and Troy likes the Pico coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what is it about the McDonald's coffee that you like?
Well, I mean, it's not just coffee. I don't drink the coffee. What I have is the frappes from McDonald's. It's not like, going and getting a hot mocha because I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I'll have a mocha frappe. It's kind of like a milkshake on steroids, And,
okay, cool.
It you can't get that at Pico's, unfortunately. You can get
That's
a good,
true.
You can just
That's
get a
true.
good cup of coffee or even a cappuccino, but you can't get a frappe there. So
Right.
that's kind of my drink of choice. So we were en route, and we just all of a sudden we look up into the sky, and it was 10 o'clock.
It's a plane. It's a bird.
It's a bird. It's fireworks. So we pull off as quick as we could and watch them. Although I think normally in the past they've gone for at least 30 minutes. This one was kind of a short one. It was only like 15 minutes.
Well, it wasn't as short as the one, was it up north in New Jersey or somewhere, where the entire fireworks display went off in about 15 seconds.
Oh, really?
The whole thing just exploded. I should have grabbed some video to show that.
Oh, wow.
Because, of course, it was all over YouTube and all over the news. It was just hilarious. I'm like, oh. And there was like, what did they say, $25,000 or $200,000? I mean, it was an insane amount of money to literally go up in smoke.
And that's the one thing that people don't realize is that, those things cost money. And usually the city will go ahead and pay for that.
Right.
Well, of course, we end up paying for it through our taxes.
Yeah.
But they...
Although, if I could be wrong, and, if somebody happens to be in the chat room that's local and knows about this, wants to answer, correct me. But I think HEB and a couple other companies locally actually provide a lot of the funding for our fireworks display.
Wow.
So HEB is very, very heavily involved in our community. They, of course, were responsible for the covering over the amphitheater.
Oh,
so yeah.
Well, yeah, I kind of see the
big HEB.
Yeah, they got their big HEB sign right there. It's kind of hard to miss that one.
Right. So anyway, you're outside. You're catching the abbreviated version of the fireworks.
It was nice. I mean, they were fireworks, so it was good to see. I mean, it was, and then of course, 15 minutes later, we're off to McDonald's, and we get a coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what was interesting about our fireworks display? I'm not big on fireworks at all. As a matter of fact, I just consider them a waste of money. But that's just my opinion. But it was kind of interesting. We had a dual light show going on because we had the fireworks, but then of course God had His own fireworks going on.
Yeah,
that's
right.
It's like, where in the world we hadn't seen rain in a while, and so having a pretty good storm show up like that, it was a nice light show.
It was, and then because you would looking up and you would see the actual fireworks going off, and then off to the distance you would see awesome lightning.
Right, and then you hear at times. The thunder was as loud and as snappy as the fireworks. So it was like, okay, was that firework or was that the thunder? It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, but I seem to have read something on that day too. You kind of broke tradition there. You're always asked to sing.
Oh yeah,
and perform.
I got
this
a
year.
lot. Yeah, for those who know me locally here. I get asked to lend my voice to singing the national anthem and often the Lee Greenwood song, God Bless USA,
because you're a country fan. You just love it.
Right. Let me smack you. At a lot of our city functions and base functions. And so usually I get asked to participate as far back as I can remember. To do that with the city's celebration when it starts at the amphitheater, because they usually have like bands and various speeches and welcomes from the wing commander and from the mayor and if there's any other politicians in town, of course they get their photo op too. So I get to do that, and I always consider yes, they have to do it. Little old Del Rio is their photo op. And I consider it an honor to be asked to participate in those things. I don't take it lightly. Some people could get jaded. It's like, oh, here we go again. I consider it an honor because our national anthem, having started actually the tune starting as a drinking song, it goes all over the place as far as pitch, and so it's not an easy song for people to do. As you can tell from people like Roseanne Barr and Steven Tyler, who have absolutely destroyed the national anthem when they sing it. But
I think the Roseanne Barr thing was kind of a joke. I think she did it just to be,
joke with our national anthem.
Well, trust me, she was beat to death with that one.
Oh yeah,
I mean she.
But we've had plenty of celebrities go out there and just ruin the national anthem. So I treat it with the respect that I feel it should be, that it is due, and
as you should.
Yeah, absolutely. So I treat it as a great honor to be asked to participate. I don't take it for granted. I don't just assume, well, why didn't you, and get all uppity. Well, why didn't you ask me this year? Or no. I treat every year, even if I expect it. And when I say expect, I mean anticipate being asked to do this, to do the national anthem. I don't take it for granted. I don't assume, and so my feelings aren't hurt because the city didn't ask me to do it. They probably just found somebody else they wanted to do it, or maybe they just got tired of hearing me doing it, and that's fine. I get that. But it was kind of unusual to not have my 4th of July broken up, because usually I'm involved in that, so I can't plan to involve myself with family and friends for the whole day, because I know I'm going to be at least part of the evening participating in that. So I didn't get asked this year, but what was so funny is throughout the day, as I'm, at Walmart or Home Depot or wherever, and I run into people, some that I know, some that I don't know, saying, "Hey, are you doing the national anthem this year?" Well, no, I wasn't asked. What? I even had former one of our county commissioners, Roy Muskies.
Oh,
he saw me. I forget where it was. I think it was Home Depot. He said, "So, you doing the national anthem tonight?" And I said, "No, the city didn't ask me this year." He goes, "What? I'm not going." I said, "Don't be that way." I said, "It's still worth going to." I said, "Support the city. You've always supported the city." So I didn't get all uppity about that. Disappointed, probably a little bit, but I don't let it get to my head. As much as I might joke about things like that, I don't let it get to my head. So I did. You're right. I broke tradition, but it wasn't that I chose to break it. It just happened that way. But what that meant was I could spend the evening with my wife and some of our friends. Normally on Wednesdays, our church has various little cell groups or home groups where you fellowship, kind of get share and discuss some of the things that were talked about the previous Sunday and that kind of thing. It's just a good way of kind of fellowshipping with your Christian brothers and sisters. But this being, of course, 4th of July's holiday. We did a lot on, the cookout thing, so it was kind of neat. Had some venison burgers. Yeah.
There you go.
Love that stuff. So got to spend some time with them, and we had a great time. Of course, the rain was coming down. I was like, well,
but it was pleasant. I mean, it rained hard for a little while, and then it kind of, it was just drizzling light. So it was good.
Well, like I said, it was a pretty decent light show there for a while.
That's a mighty nice pink case you got there, Robert.
Magenta and Columbia. What's that from? You don't know?
No.
Really? Magenta, Columbia. Oh, I can't believe you don't know. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I grew up, we actually, when places still had drive-in theaters, Joplin, Missouri had a drive-in theater there at the corner of 32nd, I think it was 32nd, and Range Line Road, and we used to go there on the weekends a lot, see movies or bring a date and make out, that kind of thing. And of course they had during the summer they would do the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and so a bunch of us would get out in front, people would act it out. And,
I'm a big Tim Curry fan.
Yeah.
And I just, when I remember first seeing that movie, I didn't believe that was him because I had seen him with his later work, and
so this was like going back in time for you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When
I see him sporting that the garter belt and the leather and
that transvestite song.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, he's a really great performer. Actually,
he is. He's got a broad range. Of different characters. I probably a very disliked movie, but I actually enjoyed it, was Oscar with Sylvester Stallone. And this is grabbing out of obscurity too, and he was a mobster who was trying to get out of the business, trying to straighten his life up. His wife was Ornella Muti, who happened to be Ming's daughter in Flash Gordon.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Of course, the soundtrack written and performed by the musical group Queen.
Yep.
But Tim Curry was his, I want to say his speech coach or something. He was trying to make him into a proper gentleman, and so
because he spoke like a,
this.
Yeah.
So he was trying to, he was so very proper, so he was just so funny because he was always correcting various people, and somebody would make a sentence and he would say, you've got a dangling participle, and everybody's like, look, like what?
Yeah.
So Tim Curry, and then of course he was in the McHale's Navy movie as the villain. Was a hilarious character there too.
He was in It.
That's
Stephen King.
right. Very evil.
He was Pennywise, yeah.
Very evil. He was
They
evil.
all float down here.
Yeah, it was evil.
I like it.
Yeah, he's played a number of different characters. So
Yeah.
that's our little Tim Curry tribute for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So speaking of 4th of July. Didn't get to dive, which of course, the weather just did not make that possible.
And I actually was going to call you because the weather was great. I had washed the cars, and I was thinking, I wonder.
It's your fault.
That's why, it was my fault because I actually washed the cars, guys. That's why it rained. So I'm planning on washing them next week, so be expecting rain.
Be ready for rain.
Yeah, be ready. At least 30%. But, and I was going to say, like, maybe he's up for a night dive, and then, the thunder comes a-rolling. I said, well,
yeah, which, lightning's not bad if you're deep enough underwater. It's not really going to mess with you, but
yeah, well,
if you're on the surface, you could get hit.
Yeah, you could. We tend to spend a lot of time on the surface.
Singing our little songs.
Singing the songs.
Yeah. So, but interestingly enough, you can find ways to celebrate your patriotism as a diver, because there are, in fact, interesting companies out there that will custom make you a wetsuit of all sorts of designs. And so I have a little slideshow. I have a slideshow. Of course, here we see sporting, very patriotic setup, a little kind of a Texas flag going here.
You could have photoshopped that photo a little bit. Is that Kenny Rogers?
No. Lady.
The gambler?
No, it's so sad. Now, this one isn't actually too bad. This almost looks like it belongs on a motorcycle or something. It could be like the
I
the 70s version of Captain America.
I see that suit, and I can picture a guy with some skis and, the ski.
That one's not too bad, actually.
That one looks pretty cool.
Yeah. It's got the zip across the top. Now, of course, you would have to, if you're diving in colder water, you would want a matching hood to go with it.
Either that or you're just a proud Texan.
Yeah, that's it. You could probably wear that just swimming. If you want to, if you got big hair,
or like me, no hair.
want to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Now,
there
of course, you
go.
can't get the Superman look.
There you go. You already got a suit like that.
Superhero. Yeah. But I wonder how you'd handle the cape. Neoprene as a cape would probably not do well.
No.
And can you imagine getting snagged and stuff underwater with a cape going with that? And, of course, if you're wearing the all black, you could sport the Batman hood there. We could probably get Dominic, since he likes the Ninja Black. We could probably
Ninja Black.
I think we could probably get get this for him and set him up.
Set him up.
Or
there.
if you wear this as a girl, you could be Catwoman.
Yeah.
That would be okay.
Yep.
Now, of course, if the man about town.
There you go, Robert.
If you're getting married.
I got a picture of you wearing this.
Yeah, right. You don't know where to go to. Putting on the Ritz here. We go.
Putting on the Ritz.
Yeah, not too bad. So.
Man, that's an old picture. Look at the size of that mask.
Now, here's where we're getting some that just really don't work. That's just wrong. It's like a weird semi-camouflage with bright lime green.
What's with the flowers?
No, that's supposed to be leaves. That's camo.
Oh, is that digicamo? Okay.
Now, these are actual for those who do spearfishing.
Those are pajamas, folks.
No, those are not pajamas. Pajamas with knee pads?
Yeah,
I don't even want to go there. And what is the big part that's right in the middle of the chest? Are they expecting to get backfire or kick?
There's
some more
one.
Camouflage here.
I mean, are you going to be diving in
This
Louisiana?
is if you're diving. No, if you're diving in autumn.
There you go.
This is what you would go with. He's sporting a really nice camouflage there, Alex.
That's pathetic. Who would wear something like that?
This guy in the photo.
Guys, if there's anybody out there that's got that suit, I mean, no offense. It's just,
Apparently this guy would. This is Bochat? Baychat? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Well,
So
that's close enough.
whatever. BEAU or something like that. Bocat chat, something like that. Oh, I'm rhyming already. Why isn't it progressing? Go on to the next photo. We're tired of looking at this guy.
It doesn't want to go away.
It doesn't. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, you got the little whale, the little orca in the background. That's very, very colorful. So you can get, actually, these are all like custom made. These types are custom made.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Pretty penny though.
Yeah,
You know?
easily 3 times. Now, this one is not too bad, but
Is that
boy.
a Tron?
Yeah, really. Exactly. This one isn't too bad, but man, you'd get to wear that exactly once, and then it would just be discolored and
Yeah.
not white anymore. But I do like that one. Now, this one was pretty wild.
That's
If you
cool.
really want
I
to
like
freak,
that one.
If you want to freak some people out, I mean, look at the seams on this thing. It's like, I got flayed underwater. Not filleted, but flayed. That's where they peel the skin
I got
off
too
you.
close to a boat.
There we go. Oh, now look too. You've got a little manta ray, but look over here to the right.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Next Generation, Star Trek: The Next Generation wetsuit happening there. That's a little bit oversized on the comm badge, though, so they need to fix that, I think.
You know, you can get those through roddenberry.com.
You mean like that?
There you go.
That's the
it.
one, yes.
Those are the ones.
Yeah, that is awesome. Even got although the rank braids are too far apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, too far apart.
But, I mean, you can get Captain Kirk's, the yellow one.
Yeah, I didn't see the yellow one when I was looking for the pictures. But now, of course, if you fancy yourself on the Easter egg hunt, as a lot of divers will do, I think it's appropriate that you have a bunny ear hood to go with your outfit. Even got the little whiskers, why the whiskers would be all the way up around your eyebrows. No, also if you fancy yourself a a crash test dummy.
There you go. I know a couple of guys who'd wear that.
No kidding. Reckless divers as opposed to reckless drivers.
Yep.
So that doesn't look like it would be very warm, though. Now, of course, if you want to be the dragon, slay the dragon, just don't hang around people who are spearfishing.
Yeah, you know, I don't think you'd want to wear something like that around here. You're going to end up with a spear or a fishing hook on you.
Can you imagine just kind of cruising just under the surface? Dun-dun. Dun-dun. And then, of course, if you're feeling particularly Nordic.
Nordic, I like that.
I am Thor. I don't care if you're Thor. Carry your stuff up the wall. Get a massage later. Now, you can get some decent ones that are somewhat retro. This is kind of a retro style. I'm not a big fan of the colors, but for those who, for women who are looking for stylish stuff, you know, we were having kind of fun with the crazy ones, and then you see some that are a little bit less modest, but still very attractive looking wetsuits, but also would be good as a swimsuit.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say because they look like swimsuits.
Yeah, but this is actually those were both 3 mil wetsuits, believe it or not. And then of course, if you want to go for the completely the sexy look, see the very sharp outfits. That kind of reminds me. That kind of reminds me of the one from, although it was bright yellow. I think it was yellow. The one that Halle Berry wore in that James Bond movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I thought it was black though.
Was it black? I could swear it had some color.
I could have sworn it was just like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Now and then, of course, you can become a mermaid. I mean, look at this one. This is what freaks me out. It's full body. I mean, literally all the way down to covering the fins, which are a paired fin set. But this is what they get. They make these for like SeaWorld, those kind of places where they want to do the shows.
Yeah.
Now, this, we don't wear the women's wetsuit, of course. But the one on the right is actually one that Scuba Bob and I both have. He's got the 7 mil version of this, and I've got the 5 mil version. I'm a big fan of waterproof wetsuits. Matter of fact, I got to wear mine today.
Yeah, there you go.
Which we're going to be talking about that dive here a little bit. Now, here's what's new. The ones that we've got are closeout, but here's what they've got new, and I kind of like the additional color accents that they've got here. Although I would have preferred the guys to also have. Well, I preferred the guy to have the same water logo that the girls. Now, if you want to go to the mill, I want the front zip suit.
Oh,
I like this.
Yeah,
this is pretty cool. I love the design. Just nice little accents, but I love the front zipper.
Yeah.
Access, especially for the 7 mil suit, because
it's a little thicker. It's
tough to get into. Because I've got a Camaro, which I really like the look of. I've got a Camaro Stingray.
Is it a 68 or a 69 Camaro? Is it parked outside?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It's the Stingray 7 mil wetsuit, which I really love. But man, I tell you, trying to zip up the back of that much neoprene is definitely a challenge.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So we were just having a little bit of fun with the wetsuits and kind of moving from the silly to the practical. But the point is,
you left out my baby, my Pinnacle.
Oh, well, I couldn't remember which version you had, and since I kind of pulled this together at the last second, I would have emailed you or had you tell me which one is it you have. I actually have a 3 mil shorty by Pinnacle, and I do like it. It's really nice. It's got kind of a softer blue color accents on it, which I really like. But I also have a Camaro, a shorty that I next time we do a shallow dive, matter of fact, I know I will take this with me up to Balmarais this next weekend. I really like it because it's got some white accents on it. It's a really, really sharp and some really cool designs on it.
The Pinnacle that I have it's the Merino. It's the
Dan Marino.
Yeah, Dan Marino. It's the elastoprene with the merino lining inside of it. I've had it for number of years now, and it's actually still in. It's starting to show its wear because there was a time when we were using it. I was using it there for a good while.
Yep.
I mean, I do take care of it. I wash it and everything else. So,
wash it and I pet it. And I say good things to it.
I iron it. Take the wrinkles out of it. Yeah, I'm that bad. Anyway,
you really don't iron it.
No, I don't, Robert. Trust me, I don't need to.
How would it last this long? Even if you threw a wet towel down. Oh.
Trust me, that thing is so tight. The
tight like a tiger.
It's tight. So anyway, I really like the suit, but if I do get another one, I think I would probably stick with the same suit.
Yeah.
Because it's been great.
If it dance with the one that brung you. I mean, if it works well for you, stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'll definitely look forward to my next waterproof wetsuit because I really really like those. I'm more open when it comes to the 3 mils because there's so much more variety as far as color, etc. The thicker the wetsuit, the tougher it is to do the colors and have a suit that's going to maintain the quality. But the point being, you can find just about, if you're willing to look, or you got the dollars to pay for some of the places that will custom make your suits. There's a place between San Antonio and Austin that does custom suits, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But you can get any kind of suit to suit you, to fit your particular
size and
definitely size.
I guess one of the biggest problems that since we're on the subject now, when you're discussing wetsuits is, of course, size, height, weight. You can go by the actual sizing chart that most of them have, and a lot of them are. If you read and take the time to read the actual comments or reviews of the suit, because they'll tell you it's true to size or true to fit. These guys, whenever you're going to talk about something like that, usually these things are kind of, either they're too long or they're too short,
right,
or you know,
right.
so you'll get some that the sleeves are too long,
Yep.
or too short. So you know, take the time, do the research, and if you can, visit a dive shop and try some suits on.
Try 'em on.
Yeah, you'll see that maybe a large is going to be, you know, you fit into a large and everything else, but it actually may be either too small for you or too big for you. It just depends on the size. But if you go to a custom shop, obviously, you know, they're going to measure you, and
absolutely, it'll fit to a T, at least at the time that you got the measurements.
Right at the time. You know, you got to stay away from them sweets because you know they'll do a number on you.
Well,
And,
I just as a matter of fact, speaking of reviews on things that you buy, I just got a notification in email from Leisure Pro, which is one of the sites that we go to regularly to buy equipment online, and someone had posted asking about the Mares Trilastic boots, which both Tara and I have, and I love them. I need to get mine replaced because I've literally worn them out. The zippers just finally are starting to give up because I wear, you know, as much as I dive, you know, as an instructor. But the person who was asking about them was wanting to know if, you know, he says, I'm a 10.5 or whatever. I'm like, you ski with those things?
what are you trying to say, man? I'm a 10.5.
Bigfoot.
You know, actually, you know, and that
Sasquatch.
that goes to show you
Chewbacca.
my actual like work boot and tennis shoe size is an 11.5, but for diving shoes, I use a 10.5 because they run kind of, you know, big. So that's what we're talking about. You got to make sure that you.
And as it turns out, I wear between a 6.5 and a 7 shoe.
baby shoes. I could probably get your shoes and hang them around my rearview mirror like little taller shoes.
How would you like it where the sun doesn't shine?
I'm just playing. All right. So, 6.5. Okay,
6.5 or 7, depending on who makes the shoe. But I wear a 6 in the Mares Trilastic boot. So I told him, I said, you know, you need to go a size smaller than your regular shoe size. Otherwise, you'll probably find that you've got too much room. You know, the thing is, and you've probably heard us talking about it before, is you don't want to get any wetsuit piece, whether it's the wetsuit itself, the boots, the gloves, the hood. You don't want to get those where there's room between the material and your skin. It works because it's literally skin tight. It needs to be that close to you. So if you have a lot of room in the boots, your feet are going to get cold. It's that simple.
Right. One of the things that, since Robert brought up Leisure Pro, and we do shop there a lot, they have an awesome exchange policy when it comes to their wetsuits.
Yep.
Because of the same problem that they experience, if you order a wetsuit and it's not true to size, or you're not too sure and you order it and it's either too small, or you know what, it's just that a little tad too big, of course, they'll exchange it for you unused. I mean, don't take it to the lake and find out, oh, I'm sorry, it doesn't fit, I want to return it.
Yeah, that's not the place to find out.
No, but you'll be able to tell as soon as you put it on, it's either too tight or it's, you know, it's choking your neck, you know, different things like that. And so they have an excellent return policy. So if you do decide to get a wetsuit, have no fear. Go ahead and
Leisure Pro is here.
Yeah, Leisure Pro is there. So go ahead and order it, and they'll ship it to you. But when it comes to their wetsuits, they do have an awesome exchange or return policy. I mean, they'll do it with no problem. They understand that this is an issue, so.
And they literally carry just about anything you can think of that's dive related, even just accessories.
Actually, now that you bring that up, when I remember a few years ago when I got my my Pinnacle 5 mil, I did get because I posted about the suit, and I did get a response, something similar to yours. The guy was asking because I got the short, because even though that I'm like 5'9", but the other one seemed too long, so I decided to go with the short because I spoke to the salesman.
Right.
And I had a guy actually ask me, was it, you know, being that you're 5'9", because the guy that was going to order was 5'10", and I said, you know what, you're perfect. Get the short because it's actually still a little longer.
Yeah.
And it should fit you perfect. And sure enough, he posted later on that it was dead on.
Yeah,
so I mean,
nice.
you know, I mean, we're out there to help, guys.
Exactly. And those are the kind of things that divers talk about, too. You know, when we get together and you happen to notice, oh, let me look at your gear, unless you're stuck up about it, most divers, the big thing is they'll share their experiences with this piece of equipment, that piece of equipment, this wetsuit or this BC, whatever, to share what they liked, what they didn't like, what they do, you know, if they do it again, would they buy that, etc. So speaking of dive equipment, since I've had to do the little promotional commercial the past like forever,
Okay.
I think it's your turn to talk about some stuff, right?
You know, we went diving today, and
yes, we did.
Yeah, which we're going to talk here in a little bit. But I didn't actually have time to come together and do a whole nice presentation for you folks. So I'm gonna shoot from the hip on this.
He's winging it. He's
I'm gonna
making
wing
it up as he goes.
I'm winging it. I'm gonna lie. Okay, I'm gonna tell a little fib. No, we're discussing masks, and you know, it's like anything else. If you're diving out wherever you're gonna dive, you need to have a proper fitting mask or something that actually suits you. One of the biggest things that we look for is, of course, fit, but functionality for me personally. There are certain things that, you know, kind of like he just mentioned earlier, what may work for me may not work for him or you or anybody else. So you got to kind of experiment a little bit there. And during the course of my dive experiences, I've come to try different types of gear because I'm doing different things. Like Robert said earlier today, you know, we kind of push the envelope a little bit when it comes to certain things. And So one of the first masks that I got was actually a clear mask. So we're going to be talking about that. So this is my spiel for Aqualung because I use Aqualung products. I have with me one of my masks. It's actually Aqualung Infinity mask. I have this one, and if you look closely here, or you can actually see it there.
That's right.
It's got a black skirt on it. It's solid black. It was a great idea when I got it because I like the look, and it's got the low teardrop lens right here. So it's one of the things that I look for because I don't want to have to tilt my head all the way down. It gives me more visibility just downward, and there's a slight little glass on the side right here. I know I'm trying to see if you can see it. It's real small. Some have a bigger window here. For me, this one works great because it allows a little bit of light to come in. Well, yeah, a little bit of light, and it lets me look out. And, of course, I can see down without having to tilt my head all the way down. So this mask works great, but it does have some flaws, and it does have some problems with it. One of the things, because it has a dark or black skirt, if you've ever dove with one of these, it doesn't allow a lot of light in. So if you're claustrophobic or pretty close to claustrophobic, you're going to feel enclosed. I mean, it's really dark. It works okay for me. I mean, I'm used to it. But I have the same mask with a clear. I didn't bring it because it's being cleaned right now because I used it today. But the other one has an actual clear skirt on it, and it lets a lot of light in. So it just depends on you. But I'm prone to Aqualung because it was the product that I was trained with and liked, and so I kind of just went with that. At the time, I got a really great deal on it, so that was another plus for me. But and I've kind of been prone to that. I'm kind of funny that way, you know. I like everything to match. So all of my gear is all Aqualung. My regulator, BC, everything else is Aqualung, and my fins are Aqualung, and then of course my wetsuits. I kind of dance with that a little bit. I go with the ones that are not only reasonable, but you know, good quality wetsuits. But I guess that's pretty much it.
Right.
Aqualung, you know, works great.
All right, cool. Yep, I use the regulator, as do you. Love it. Love it. You know, so you do kind of pay for the name, but they didn't get the name without putting the quality in. Was it Zenith that used that? The quality goes in before the name goes on.
You know, we've had numerous discussions, or you know, I know Rob has had numerous discussions about gear and quality and things like that. Obviously, you can go on a higher end,
yep,
and you're gonna pay for it. you can go on the lower end.
You're
but
gonna pay for it.
Yeah, you can go on the lower end and save a little bit of money, but all the gear is functional. So don't think that
Right.
you have to pay enormous amounts of money to get a good quality product. Of course, it may last you longer, to put in a little bit of money in it, but it just depends on your diving and what kind of diving you're going to be doing. So you need to think of a couple of these things. If you're going to do just recreational diving and not, go hardcore, then average gear will work for you. If you're going to go a little bit more on the technical rescue diving, or if you're going to enhance or further your education in diving, you're going to find out as you go along that, okay, well, this works okay, but it doesn't work great.
Right.
I need to upgrade. And that's exactly what happened with me. My gear was great, but, I kept seeing this regulator that I just kind of it kept haunting me in my dreams. And finally, I saved all my nickels and dimes and quarters and was able to afford it, so I went ahead and got it. And by no means was it cheap. Let me tell you. Just to give you an idea, my regulator was pretty much a car payment. So,
Yikes.
You paid the same thing.
Yeah, but it wasn't a car payment for me.
Oh, that's right.
Everything's paid for.
All right, it wasn't a what do you call it, a Cadillac Escalade payment, but it was a maybe a Camaro payment.
Nice.
So, give you an idea.
Yep, absolutely. So, good words from a good diver. All right, so speaking of diving, we did get to go diving today, which is awesome.
You were surprised, weren't you, when I said, let's go diving?
Like, wait a minute, what? When and where? So, yeah, I was really, anytime somebody says, yep, you want to go diving? I'm like, yep, I'm ready. I've got tanks ready. I'm ready to go. So, we went out to Onset Lake, of course. And we normally will hit the Scuba Cove, but we went a little bit further south of that point to an area that we have dubbed the Abyss, because there's a sheer drop-off there if you swim out to it, and we have yet to reach the bottom. But I love diving walls. There's just something about it. We knew we were going to probably run into some visibility issues, but I went ahead and brought the camera anyway. And so I'm going to bring up the video. So here's just a couple of snapshots. Here's Scuba Bob prepping his gear. This camera actually takes some decent stills on the surface. There I am in my waterproof wetsuit, and here we are getting ready to
my pinnacle.
In the pinnacle. So, see, the lake is down so incredibly low right now. It's just unbelievable. But we were wondering if we were even going to be able to find the Abyss this time, because, let me drop the volume down a little bit. There we go. Because the lake was down so far, 20 feet or more from where we normally put in the water when we dive this spot.
Yeah.
We're like, let's hope we can find it.
I was like, you know what? If we don't find it, there's something wrong, because if we can find it when the water is up 20 feet. But luckily, we hit it pretty quick.
Yeah, we did, which was nice.
And even though one thing to kind of note that you'll see, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but I hit a max depth of 105 feet, and we still couldn't see the bottom.
Right.
And mind you, this was 20 feet lower than what it is. So on average, I would have been closer to 130 feet of water.
Right.
Which we've done that. So.
Oh yeah. Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. And yes, it was chilly, folks.
Yeah, definitely glad we brought the 5 mils. So here we are. We're about to drop over the edge. It's like, okay, I think I see.
I just saw the getting dark, and I thought, yes, this is it. And I just kept going and going.
Yeah. But you can see the visibility, because there's so much particulate suspended in the water. There we go. We're starting our descent into the abyss.
I was breaking out my my backup light for that one because it was getting dark.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to work a camera and tow the dive flag because this isn't a protected spot. This is
open water.
Yeah, it's open, so any boats can come through there. So we have to make sure we dive with a flag. So I'm working the dive flag and the camera, and then I also have my primary light attached to my wrist.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I didn't get as much video as I normally would on a dive like this because I was multitasking.
We need to get a lanyard, the retractable lanyard.
Yeah, the only thing, so you can see it's getting darker. The only thing about those is commercial. The only thing about those is that I'm always fearful that it's just going to get snagged on my gear or something like that.
Yeah. And like we said, guys,
it gets dark.
It gets really dark. And this was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when we hit the water. So as you go deeper, you're
bright sunny day.
Mm-hmm. It was about 100 degrees out. And it gets dark. I was working.
There's zero lights crossing.
As
we're against the wall.
I was working out some issues there early on in the dive. I was telling Rob.
Yeah, see, I didn't want to turn my light off, but in order to do some stuff with the camera or unreel some more line for the flag, I would have to just let go of the light because it's attached to my wrist, and it would just, of course, hang because it's heavy, and the light would just kind of spin around a little bit. And then I have to pick the light back up again.
Yeah, well, I had to do that too.
Yeah.
I had to do that because I had to rearrange my my computer.
That's right, because your computer was.
Yeah. It was in the way. So.
Basically, you see only what your lights can hit at that point.
This is reminiscent of a night dive.
Yeah, it is at that point.
And pretty much you turn the light off and it's pitch black. You don't see anything. I need to check on my light, get it fixed.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, see, a lesser person would have been freaking out because you can't see squat.
Yeah.
But that is just as much fun as anything for me. It's just the...
This was average. This was typical for me.
Yeah.
There's my rig.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's yours. You're looking at
same
yourself.
difference.
Is that? Oh, that is you.
Yep,
yeah.
That's me. I'm always going to spin it around for a front shot.
Okay,
there we go. Now, there was this little tiny cave that was such an odd shape. It literally looked like a tunnel. And it's about the size of my head.
Yeah, it looks massive there. It looks like it's in the distance, but it's really small.
It literally is the size of my head, but I wanted to get a shot in there. I was hoping to see some fish like tucked around in there. But this is the kind of stuff we look for when we do these dives. We're looking for these little caves like this. We're starting to make our way back up because at that point you were starting to get down to where we need to start surfacing as far as air. So we're working our way up. You see, it's just so green, and then it's just bright green whenever we get. And we're just about to our safety stop depth right here.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, we live for these kind of dives.
Yep.
The minute I told Rob, let's go for a dive, we're going deep.
That's right.
I normally ask him,
what suit should we wear?
I normally ask him.
If we're going deep, we're taking the 5 mil.
You know, because I normally ask him, you know, what kind of suit do I wear? Because we don't know how we're gonna do it. So of course, you got to plan accordingly. If you're gonna go deep, you got to have a thicker suit.
Yep.
So when he said,
"That's it,"
I think we're gonna go deep. So I said 5. He goes, "Yep," and he sent me a text with a winking eye. So I figured, okay, I know where we're going.
Yep. Well, because when I'm diving with less experienced divers or with generally less experienced divers, I don't take them deep.
Yeah.
They're not prepared for it. They're not trained for it. They don't know what they're looking for. So if I keep them shallow, they're going to see some fish and it's lighter and stuff like that. When we went diving last weekend, I think it was last weekend, Tara was with me, and we were trying to head to the big boat, but visibility was like that. Actually, it was worse even than that.
Wow.
And she was kind of getting freaked out because she couldn't see anything. So she was like, you know what, this is fun. This is not fun. It's kind of scary. I'm getting disoriented. So we brought it up shallower and kind of cruised along, and Nick kind of burned through his air pretty quick. So we had an earlier turnaround. No harm, no foul, because the air is there to breathe. That's the point, right? So
we tend to kind of I kind of like Robert. I'm kind of like that. I live for these kind of dives, and we tend to go exploring a little bit when we have time, and like that. I feel real comfortable going on these kind of dives because it's no problem. So, Robert's like, we're gonna go. So sure enough.
Yeah,
we drop down, but that's the kind of thing that you can expect. So, and that's why we always get these questions. Well, is it deep? What do you see? Well, that's what you see, guys. I mean, it's...
You notice we didn't see a fish on this.
No,
this
there's
dive.
no fish, and we're exactly in the channel where people are fishing.
Yeah.
So, because we could hear the boats overhead. I mean, they sounded...
Yeah, it did.
Close.
Sounded really close.
Really close, but they were probably miles off.
Yeah. Well, and I'd be tempted. I would love to be in two places at one time and be able to see...
how far?
Well, yeah. See, especially when you're running a dive flag, because we don't often dive with a flag, in areas where you need a flag. And I'm convinced that most boaters don't know the rules about, when they see these flags, they could cruise right on by. But, yeah, I'd be kind of curious to be a fly on the wall kind of thing. Watching these boaters, I have a hard time respecting a lot of boaters. Because most of them, they don't learn the rules, they don't pay attention, they're not safe.
No, they're not. And I mean, if you pay any attention to them, they're speeding on the water, and it's
especially the fishermen. They're the worst about it because they've got the fastest boats out there, and they just plow on through. And suddenly, and a lot of times they're drinking, whatever, and so before you know it, you might be on top of a diver and not even. Be all over with.
But no, it was great. It was awesome to get in. Like I mentioned earlier, I was going through some. I was trying to overcome some tweaks there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of realized what it was. It wasn't claustrophobia. It was like I was getting what a diver would call the squeeze. The thing was my suit. They're kind of tight and stuff like that. So as you go down, water pressure will start closing in on you. You start feeling a little bit kind of like tight around, certain areas. So when you take a breath, you start feeling it as kind of a little harder as you're going down deeper. Well, that was what was happening. I had to stop, relax, just breathe.
Yep.
I actually was telling Robert, I actually closed my eyes there for a second. I took a deep breath. I opened my eyes and got back into my comfort zone, and I stretched out my arms.
Exactly.
And that was it. We're back on task.
Back on the task.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, well, we're almost to the end of another podcast. I want to make sure that we bring up the text training and tech, our regular segment here, talking about what we've got coming up. Of course, I'm excited because we're going to Balmorhea again next weekend. This next weekend. So we should be back Sunday evening. So, we will be back Sunday evening. So why don't we plan on doing the podcast that evening?
Sounds good.
So For those of you who are going to try and catch the show live, it won't be Saturday. It will be Sunday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat cave.
That's right. That's right. Because I'll be in Balmorhea doing a little bit of recreational diving and maybe some Discover Scuba with some folks that are going with us. And, of course, you could probably get a camping spot if you want to go with us on the 17th through the 18th, or actually 19th of August. Tara and I will be celebrating our anniversary.
Yeah.
And also, of course, we got...
That's in August?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'm going to make that one.
There we go. Scuba classes. If you want to get on the July class, you need to get a hold of me like lickety-split so I can get your materials to you so you can do the self-study. And, of course, you could also put in for the 23rd through 26th of August for that class. I will likely make available a September and possibly October classes for those who are late bloomers, if you will. So just get a hold of us through the Dive Club website or the Facebook page. And also, this week, we have our Dive Club meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So on Thursday, 12 July, Rudy's Restaurant. So if you're in the area and you just like to chat with us, whether you're a diver or not, I would love to have you there.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a diver.
We're not snobs. We don't kick you out the door if you're not a diver.
No. If you have any questions or even eager to just hang out,
right.
Just come by and say hi. And
there's
sit
food.
down.
You got to eat.
Yeah, there's food.
Guys, you got to eat.
Good baked potato,
Yeah. Oh. And they're monstrous. Those things are huge.
It's a 5 pound, what is like a 3 pound potato.
You could play football with those.
Yeah, I can probably throw that baby at least 50 yards.
So that
with butter in it.
I'm going to hit you with butter. Yeah. So, wow, this will probably be the first time we've actually ended the podcast on time. Hard to believe.
Oh my God, something's wrong.
Did
we forget something?
No, I can't think of it. I think we actually hit all the points there. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, again, we will be doing the podcast next Sunday at 8 o'clock. So, love to have you join us, or you can catch us on YouTube. Just do a search for Two Guys Who Dive. Or check us out, chat with us, connect with us via the website. We have forums there, and we also have, probably the most active way is the Facebook page. We love to get in contact with you there. So any questions you have, suggestions, etc. Love to hear from you. And certainly live, we've got the chat room. We always monitor the chat room at Ustream TV, so we can interact with you. We love fielding your questions. And,
and again, they don't have to be dive questions. They don't, if you have a question regarding gear or something technical, because we kind of dabble into that as well.
You can try the obscure stuff and see if you can stump the divers. I don't know.
Ooh, there, stump the diver.
Stump the diver. That's pretty good. So
we have to put a little stump the diver.
There we go. Bling, bling, bling. Have a little sound effects, a little horn or something like that.
I saw the podcast when you played that song for me. I was like, alone again.
That's right, naturally. Had to do my radio voice for that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, folks. I had family in from out of town, and family had to leave out of town.
Yeah.
And, it's one of those things. It's summer. People come and visit.
Oh, and I'd like to. Oh boy, here we go.
Uh-oh. Somebody wants down.
Getting exciting. Well, there went our silent special guest, Ronan, visiting the podcast. So, well, with the fanfare that the dogs are presenting, with probably somebody walking down the street in the cool or semi-cool of the evening. So ends another podcast, and we'll see you next week on another episode of Two Guys Who Dive.